is 2010, and Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 just released. After the incredible moments and lightsaber fights you experienced in the first game, you were excited by the prospect of that being doubled. Double the lightsaber fights, double the action, double the Force power. But unfortunately, as we and many others were, we were let down by only playing a seemingly half the amount of story. Understandably, a lot of fans were bummed and craved more. Soon after the release of Force Unleashed 2, we heard about an untitled Darth Maul game and the possibility of a Republic Commando sequel, and oh my goodness, Star Wars 1313. But that was before the dark times, before the Empire. If I told you that Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 would be your last single-player dedicated experience for nearly a decade, would you maybe play the 5-hour campaign one more time? Would you experiment with the alternate endings just one more time? Would you stare at Juno Eclipse just one... you get the point. Doom and gloom aside, I will take a minute to express my feelings on the Star Wars games made by EA so far under the EA and Disney deal. All 2 of them.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Battlefront 2015 was a wildly okay experience for me. The lack of content surrounding the Clone Wars, and at the time the upcoming sequel era, left much to be desired. Not to mention the price of admission for expansions and a season pass was not what fans of Star Wars would exactly call a good time. And so Battlefront 2 did a lot to remedy this. And while I enjoyed the game for a good while, the public reception at launch was less than stellar. They added a single-player story that tied in with the original trilogy and even slightly with the prequel and sequel trilogies as well. They still pulled some major gotchas over the player base, a rampant loot box system, grindy unlocks for staple characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. This poured more and more bad taste into the mouths of Star Wars fans, and this really pushed the development team at DICE to really work hard to win over the would-be players and the old players to come back and give this game another try. Play Battlefront 2 today, and it's barely recognizable. I would say their development team at DICE did a wonderful job at softening the people to the idea of more Star Wars games from this team. So what about the other development teams at EA working on Star Wars games? Star Wars fans have been craving a single-player experience for a long time. So what about that visceral open world game that looked oh so promising? Oh, well I guess that just leaves today's game in question. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Like I alluded to before, this game will be the first truly single-player experience in the Star Wars universe for almost an entire decade. If you are unfamiliar with the game or its premise, developers Respawn pitched the game as the following. The Empire seeks to eradicate all Jedi after the execution of Order 66. You, a Jedi Padawan turned fugitive, Cal Kestis, must fight for your survival as you explore the mysteries of a long-existing civilization in hopes to rebuild the Jedi Order. After narrowly escaping the Jedi Purge, you're on a quest to rebuild your fallen order. Pick up the pieces of your shattered past and complete your Jedi training, all while staying one step ahead of the Empire and its deadly Inquisitors. This description was ripped straight from Respawn's website and does a great job at detailing the premise and missions surrounding this game. More recently, we received a trailer that takes a deeper dive into those missions and what sort of areas we will be exploring. We will play as Cal as we traverse to various planets on various missions in a Metroidvania sort of fashion.
And this Metroidvania-style mission structure is perhaps one of the most interesting things about this game. As game director Stig Asmussen states in an open letter to the community, our approach to level design, which is crafted in a non-linear way with heavy influences from games like Metroid, Castlevania, and the Souls series. The game will feature several planets that the player can elect to travel to via starship. On these worlds, unique abilities and upgrades can be found that open up new paths across other planets, making retroversal an essential part of the gameplay experience. So we have one of my favorite styles of games, that being the Metroid Prime series, being mixed in with some Souls-like elements put into the Star Wars universe. This should be a hit, right? Well, that is yet to be determined. Personally, I'm pretty excited for this game. After being disappointed by Battlefront 1 and not even trying Battlefront 2 after all that loot box fiasco, I'm impressed by the gameplay we've seen so far, and I'm also a huge fan of the actor playing our protagonist, that being Cameron Monaghan, who you may know as Joker from the Gotham TV show and Ian from Shameless. But I'm also still concerned considering this is EA, and lately EA has proven that they can find some way to mess things up, so we'll see how it turns out. And it's experiences like these that make fans wary of giving EA and furthermore EA Star Wars another chance. Fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on us. Fool us for a third time, I can see the pitchforks now.
Joey is exactly right. If we thought the community feedback for Battlefront 2 was bad, I can't imagine the uproar that will come if EA fails to deliver yet again. This is why the developers at Respawn are so crucial to the success of Jedi Fallen Order. You see, while EA as a publisher may be wildly disliked among gamers, the general consensus around Respawn is their trustworthiness. They did a fantastic job with the Titanfall series, and minus a few instances of EA meddling with Apex Legends, Respawn has committed a lot of fans to believe in their ability to put out a great title that fans will feel is fair and enjoyable. And yes, as a publisher of Respawn's materials, EA is inevitably going to find a way to monetize it beyond the base game. One can only hope that these are minor instances and will be trivial when compared to the entirety of the game at hand. For instance, we have already learned of pre-order bonuses being available for this game. Lightsaber hilts and covers, BD1 skins and ship skins. It seems like this game will have plenty of customization options, which is good to be sure, but I'm inclined to think that some more cosmetics will be hidden behind a paywall and won't be available for just playing the game. I hope I am wrong on that one, but previous experiences led me to believe that. So we've talked a lot about what's at stake for this game, but I want to get into the positives on what this game could mean for players, fans, and overall the public perception of EA and Star Wars. I remember back in my childhood playing some of the best Star Wars games available: Republic Commando, Jedi Knight, Shadows of the Empire, and heck, more recently, the Star Wars Old Republic MMO published by EA is a pretty dang good game. It's just not a single player game. To see a return to such amazing titles within the Star Wars universe would be incredible. We Star Wars fans have been starved for a unique single player RPG for so long, and no, I won't be considering LEGO Star Wars games as a cure for that hunger. That's more like iceberg lettuce. You eat it, but it's not food. We have wanted a serious experience like this for so long that if done well, Jedi Fallen Order could be the stepping stone to usher in so many more Star Wars titles like it, and could go a long way to repair the public perception of EA. And to be realistic, with another 4 years under the Disney EA deal, there's still a chance of 1, maybe 2 games getting made by EA. And if Disney for whatever reason decides to sign with EA for another 10 years, Star Wars fans may be in for an even longer ride than we anticipated on this EA train. Again, that's why Jedi Fallen Order is so important to EA and so very important to us fans. Both parties need this game to be good, so please, be good! Well, that's it for me today, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. I know this is a little bit longer than my typical video, but I had a lot of thoughts on this topic, so I, again, really appreciate you sticking through to the end, and I really want to know, what are your opinions on Jedi Fallen Order so far? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, a huge thanks and shout out to my friend Joey Ferris from Ferris Wheel Pro.
Thank you so much for having me on Vanilla Soup. It was a lot of fun talking about Star Wars and Metroid with you because those are just a couple of my favorite things. But if you'd like to see more of my hot takes as well as game reviews, be sure to check out my channel Ferris Wheel Pro, as well as following me on Twitter and Instagram at Ferris Wheel Pro.
Check his channel out at the end or in the description below. Again, thank you, Joey, so much. It means a lot, and I always love having you on. But that's it for me today, guys, and until next time, I'll see you online. Vanilla Soup, out.